Hi everyone, and welcome to our Touch Base Thursday for March 31st. I am going to give this a minute here, making sure that I'm live here with all of you, and then we will go ahead and get started. So if you are joining me, please comment and tell me hello and that you are here. And like I said, we will start here in just a couple minutes. There I am. And there are the comments coming in. Hi, Carol, both Carols and Philomena. Hello, ladies, and Shireen. Welcome. As always, like I said, it's the most panic moment I have when I do a Facebook Live. It's making sure that I'm live in the right spot and that you guys can all see me and hear me and all that wonderful stuff. So anyway, excited to be going live with you all today. And the Facebook changed settings again, so they changed their Zoom and whatever. So you're seeing other curtains in my background today that I change for different things. So anyway, I was trying to fix it before I went live and finally said, nah, we're going live. So anyway, you're getting a little bit of all kinds of colors going on there. But hi to Deb and Donna and Luann. Welcome, ladies. Those of you that might be new to finding me on Facebook or new to liking my page, welcome. I'm glad to have you here. I am Kim Vogel, a demonstrator from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, and I love Stampin' Up! Products. The coordination makes it so easy for me to create pretty things for all of you. So tonight I'm going to be sharing with you the Flowering Rainboots bundle, and I've created some really pretty awesome things with this bundle, so I hope that you'll enjoy it. So a few things I have in the way of announcements before we go ahead and get started with our presentation. Again, we have a few new people popping on, so hi to Joanne and Beth, and if I forget your name, Janie, please let me know. I don't mean to do that, but some of the comments come in really fast. So thanks, Carol. Yeah, that new curtain back there is, I love flowers, and so I thought, oh, it's so pretty. But today, I don't know what it is. The settings are just kind of off a little bit. So anyway, but we're here. We're going to go with it. A few things in the way of announcements. So my girls have been on spring break this week. I haven't heard a whole lot from them. Natalie is in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale, actually, with one of her really good friends. And she's been texting a little bit, but she's having fun. And my biggest worry with her was she's so fair complected was that she was going to get burned. And so we actually went and found her a really good 70 SPF sunscreen at our local beauty store here. And she tells me that she's doing great. Not burned, just a little bit in her hairline from that. She didn't think about taking a hat, but she's been sitting under umbrellas and things like that. So anyway, but she's having a lot of fun, which is nice. And that was my biggest fear, was she was going to come home burnt really bad because she's so fair complected. And then my other daughter, Claire, is spending time with my mom. She's over at Grandma's house. So my husband's actually going over there to pick her up on Saturday. So she'll be home then. So anyway, I've had a little bit of quiet evenings, and my husband's been working a lot, so he's been home late. But it's been different. People have asked me, are you enjoying your week? And I'm like, well, yeah, but I think I'll be ready for the girls to come back when they do. So anyway, and Claire's orchestra concert last week was beautiful. And I tried to upload a video to Facebook, and Facebook wasn't letting me. So I'm sorry you weren't able to hear any of that, but she did a beautiful job, as always. So excited to have that I was able to attend that and do my live with all of you a little bit earlier that week. So thank you guys for your flexibility and your understanding when it comes to family stuff. So anyway, those of you that shared my video last week, you got your name into the drawing, and we have 2 winners. So the winner of the Evening Evergreen Weave ribbon is Missy Lynch. So congratulations to Missy. And I was just texting her earlier tonight, and I almost told her that she was a winner. And then the winner of the Mint Macron ribbon is Marcia Numerick. So congratulations to Marcia and to Missy. And I actually see Marcia this weekend, so I will be giving her her ribbon then. Okay, up for grabs this week is... This ribbon is gorgeous. It's the soft, succulent satin ribbon, and I love this ribbon. It is gorgeous. And then the other one I have is the matte black dots. Okay, so those are the 2 things that are up for grabs this week. So we will draw somebody for those next week, okay? So a few other things I have in the way of announcements before we get started with showing you all my awesome things is I am starting an in color club. So a few of you took advantage of that last year, and what that is where we you get one color of all of the in colors over the course of 5 months. So let's say you you join it. The cost for that is $60. That includes the shipping of the product to you. Okay, and then how that works is each month you get all the products of one of the in colors. And when I say all of the products, I am including the ink pad, the ink refill, the a pack of cardstock, the marker, the blends, the ribbon, the embellishment, I mean, you name it, you're getting the whole thing. So I want to make sure you guys know that you're getting a lot of stuff. And then I did include the shipping and the tax on that, and then the shipping to ship it to you. The registration link for that is for you to sign up. You can either pay for it all at once, or you can pay for it just for 1 month, and then I will PayPal invoice you the other 4 months for that cost of that. Now, some of you might be saying, okay, that cost is a little bit more than it was last year. And so I just wanted to let you know that Stampin' Up! Did have to increase their cost of cardstock and designer paper a little bit. You'll see that in our new catalog. The cardstock went up 50 cents a pack, and the designer series paper, I think, also went up 50 cents a pack. So with that kind of into play, it did have the cost go up a little bit more. And of course, shipping is, as we all know, can be a crazy thing. And so some of that product is kind of heavy, so it's going to cost me a little bit extra to ship it to you. Okay, but it's a really good way for you to get product in your hands on a budget, not having to get it all at once, and then after 5 months, you'll have all of that in color stuff. So that's what that is. And then I'm going to be doing a product share, and I'm only going to be doing the product share with all of the designer series paper. I'm not going to be doing a product share for the ribbon and embellishments this time. It's a little bit more labor intensive, and I haven't had as much interest with that. So the designer series paper shares go over really well. And again, how that works is I take all of the designer series papers, I either divide them into 4s or divide them in half, depending on what you sign up for, and then you get a little sampling of all of the designer series paper in our new catalog. Again, you can play with some of the new products, see them. If you like them, then maybe you might want to be like, hey, I want to get the full pack of that. Now that registration link is not ready yet. I'm still working on pricing and making sure I know what's all available to us, but the In Color Club link is available, has been posted on my Facebook page and group this last week, and the link will be in the description of this video after I am done with my Facebook Live. Any additional questions on that, though, please let me know. But it's what I used to do to get all the new in colors before I was a demonstrator, and I loved the way of doing that because it's not a lot of financial burden all at once, and you don't feel as guilty. At least I didn't feel as guilty spending the money on the new in colors. The new catalog. So as a demonstrator, we get to pre-order a few of the new products starting tomorrow. So my Facebook Live next week. Guys, give me the thumbs up if you're okay with this. I was going to show you more projects and things using some current product, but I'm really thinking that maybe next week what my Facebook Live will be is a sneak peek of new product. What do you think? I'm going to be express shipping it to myself. We can order some of the things starting tomorrow, and then I'm going to hopefully have it in my possession by Tuesday or Wednesday to do my Facebook Live with all of you next week, showing you some new products, letting you actually see the new in colors over a Facebook Live, and talking about a few of the awesome things that I was able to get. So that is what I am planning to do for our Facebook Live next week. Sneak peek of new catalog stuff. If you've placed an order with me in the last year, now if you're a demonstrator who has placed an order with me in the last year, I usually don't send catalogs because you'll get a catalog in the mail. We get complimentary catalogs in the mail a little bit sooner than our customers do. So, but if you are a customer of mine, you've put in an order in the last year, you will automatically get a catalog in the mail from me. Okay, if you do not receive your catalog in the mail by the close to the end of April, please let me know and I will send you a second one out, okay? I want to make sure that all of you have your catalog by May 3rd when that catalog goes live. I get just as excited about new product that I'm sure all of you are, and I want to make sure that you're able to see what we have to offer, and there's something about that new catalog in your hands. So just, again, let me know if you need a catalog if you don't get it, before the end of April, okay? Let me see here. The other thing I wanted to mention to put on your radar, because I know some of you have taken advantage of this in the past, and some of you might not know that I do this, but every year I do what I call a BOGO sale. It's my annual buy one, get one free sale, and I offer it local here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, right in my house garage, but I also offer it as an online sale as well. So albums will post after my in-person event, and trust me, there's always tons of stuff left. But how that works is all of my retiring products that I don't keep, which is a ton. I can't keep everything. I buy so much to showcase that I just have to pick and choose some of my favorites. So anything that I am not keeping, I sell in my BOGO sale. So let's just say you purchase $50 of stuff in my BOGO sale. I ship that to you if you're a long distance and doing my online. Like I said, it all posts I have a Facebook group page that I'll start getting advertised out there for you to join. All this stuff gets posted into albums, and then you just comment on a picture, I want this or want or whatever. We keep an eye on that, see when all those comments come in. I pull everything, and then what I do is I send it to you, and then I will in PayPal invoice you the shipping cost though to send you all of that stuff. But my retired stuff becomes your free stuff, and then you just simply give me an order for the same dollar value, or you put in an online order of the same dollar value that you bought from my retired sale. So it's a really, really good way for me to have all of my gently used stuff to go into new homes, and for you to get new product that you can use that's gently used, that's going to be all new to you. So anyway, that will be taking place the end of June. It's a couple weeks later this year than I normally do it, but that is due to my daughter graduating and open house and all of that stuff that we have going on early in June. So just wanted to let you know, give you a heads up to be expecting more information to come out on my annual BOGO sale. Okay, and I see we have a few new people joining us, so hi to Karen and Kelly. Oh, and Pat, you were able to jump on, yay. Janet. So anyway, welcome to all of you. Again, I went through a lot of announcements and things. Oh, one more event that I'm doing. And some of you have been asking me about, I had like 4 of you ask me about this event that I haven't done probably since last summer. It is a virtual Facebook party. And so I want to explain to you what a virtual Facebook party is. So again, I have a separate Facebook group. I noticed that a few of you joined it this last week. And during the 2-hour time frame on April 20th from 6:30 until 8:30, I will be posting to that group, and I have posts coming out regularly. So you're going to want to keep refreshing your page. Refreshing your page on your computer is that little open arrow, or refreshing your phone or iPad or device is just swiping down. But I post games out there. I'll post a funny game, like one time I did, what is your snowman name? And you put in your name with your, coincides with your alphabet and whatever, your letter of your first name, that kind of thing. And then I do prizes, so I'll draw somebody to win a prize for commenting on that game. I do ordering incentives, so usually I have some kind of a huge ordering incentive for anybody who puts in an order in conjunction with my virtual party. My virtual party's open, it's an event that I do through Facebook, but if you are like working and you can't watch it, you can always do it. It's like for a week duration and still comment. Maybe I think it's 4 or 5 days duration. I forget exactly, but you can still comment in all those posts. The ordering promotion's open for like a week, all of that kind of stuff. So, and then what I also do is I do Facebook Lives throughout that event. So my during the 2 hours, I go live twice, and I have a make and take packet that I actually just designed the projects tonight before I came live with all of you. I'm using the Kite Delight stamp set, and I'll be sending you all a little delight with that. I have something that I'm working on, but with that you'll get the stamp set, and then you're going to get all the products that you need to make all 6 of the projects that I've designed. A couple of them are 3D projects, products and the rest are cards, but it uses the Kite Delight, so we're going to be working with that. That kit is optional. You do not need to purchase that kit to participate. You can still participate and have fun and take advantage of the ordering incentive. That kit is optional, just if you wanted to stamp along with us while we design those projects. So Jody, your question is, when does the stuff on the website retire that they say is retiring soon? So all of this stuff on our website that says it's retiring, so it is, if it's in our annual catalog, it will be gone the end of, well, first of all, it's all available while supplies last. So if there's anything that you see out there that you really, really want, I encourage you to get it now, okay? So it's a little bit confusing because we have two catalogs going on right now and they end at different times. So our annual catalog is done, I think it's like May 2nd, and then our new one begins on May 3rd. So that is the drop dead date, so to speak, that you would be able to get things from our annual catalog. Now, our little mini catalog that's called our January through June catalog, that one goes through June. I think it's June 2nd. Let me grab the catalog. I have one sitting right here. It's on the back and I can verify that. That one goes through, June 30th. I was wrong. So June 30th. So there's a little bit of a longer time frame with some of the things that you can get out of this catalog, which sometimes I wonder why they have done it that way, but that's just kind of how the company has done their two publications. But again, it's all while supplies last. The other thing I wanted to mention that I think is a little confusing, and I want to make sure I explain it because I had a couple customers ask me this week. So there are some bundles that the bundle says it's retiring, but the stamp set and the dies are not. Now, what happens with that is when a bundle comes out, so I'm going to actually use the Flowering Rainboots as an example. Okay, so when this bundle came out, it first came out in our January through June publication. So the bundle is one of the bundles that's 10% off. So you can get 10% off this bundle by buying it together, okay? Now, if this was carrying over, which I don't think it is, but if this was carrying over, the next publication that it carries over in, it is no longer a bundle. They then separate the two, and you have to buy the stamp set separate from the dies. And so you don't get to save that 10%. They do that because of all of the new bundles coming out, and they don't have them all beyond the 10% discount all of the time. So it's only out there for 10% discount in the first publication that it comes out in. So I just wanted you to make sure you understood that. Some of you were asking, how is it being retired? But I know that it's still showing as a current stamp set. That's how, okay? So that is the difference between bundles retiring versus a stamp set and a die set. I know it's confusing. I really wish the company would come up with a different way of doing that. But if you have any questions as you're looking through that retired list, or they call it retiring last chance, I call it all the same list, please reach out to me. Shoot me an email. Shoot me a message here on Facebook. Be happy to look into it and let you know and verify, because I'd hate for you to miss out on something that you think might be sticking around and then it doesn't. So happy to help you with any questions that you have regarding any of that retiring stuff. Okay, so with that, I think I've covered everything on my announcements. I'm going to transition my camera down to my stamp area. Again, you're going to get your little sneak peek of some awesome projects, and then we're going to talk about this amazing bundle. Again, this is probably one of them that I didn't think I needed, and then got it and played with it and fell in love with it. And I actually paired it with some of our spring-themed Flowering Fields Designer Series paper that goes with a couple other bundles in our catalog. And my cards turned out, I think, very pretty and very spring-like, incorporating in that paper. So with that, I'm going to transition my camera down and let's get started. Okay, so I may have to pull this in a little bit further. There we go. So there's your little sneak peek. Aren't they bright and colorful for spring? And I designed a couple just in the last little bit here. Let me also turn my computer around so that I can continue to see comments, because that's the only other part. My computer is so heavy now because I have to use a different one. Okay, so there is your little sneak peek. Yay! What do you think? Aren't they awesome? Okay, so I'm going to move everything out of the way here, and then I am going to talk to you about the bundle and show you the bundle a little bit. So this is the stamp set. It's called Flowering Rainboots. And we have coordinating dies that go with it. So the dies, so this is what I mean when I talk about the bundled together and saving 10%. So bundled together, you save 10% off of the price if you were to buy them separate, and it's $49.50 instead of $55. So if this bundle is on your list, I would suggest you get it while it's still bundled together before it's, and I think this one actually might be gone. I don't think this one's retired or going over either. And then the dies cut out some of these awesome little shapes on the stamp set, and my dies have been well loved. But you have the boots here, you have the little flowering part up there, you have the teapot, so cute, or the little watering can, the little stems to your flowers, you have your little pot right here, and then you also have the one for the little flowers for your pot. Ones that I have not used or didn't use in my cards is the little flowering, a little tool. I didn't use that. I didn't use the little square, and I didn't use this little lattice either. So I kind of stuck to the main parts of the stamp set, and had a lot of fun with this though. So let me move those out of the way. And this stamp set is a photopolymer stamp set. It is not a red rubber stamp, but you can see it's been well loved, and it does get stained up a little bit. But I love this bundle. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first card that I'm going to share with you is actually, look at the colors in that. So I guess before I start, let me show you the paper that I paired this bundle with. So this paper is called the Flowering Fields Designer Series paper, and it was designed to kind of go with the two suites for the tulips and for the windmill, or the wind, I forget what it's called exactly. But I paired it with this one as well, and I found that it turned out really, really nice. So you got the colors in here are Poppy Parade, you've got Fresh Freesia, Rich Razzleberry, Pear Pizzazz. I mean, this paper is gorgeous. So I'm just going to get out a few sheets. I know you probably, maybe some of you have already seen this used in other projects. I'm going to turn it over so you can see it as well on the other side. So there you have that. Let me flip this over. Those are the same, sorry. You got some green. This is awesome little clouds. So the opposite side has a little bit more of your, I don't know, you're not quite your busy pattern. So it's not like your flowered patterns, okay? All right, so this card right here, I love pairing the purples together with different purples. So Carol, if you're watching, you're probably gonna love this, this card. Now, some of these cards were part of a class that I offered online. So some of you may be saying, oh my gosh, I seen that, I've got this card. It was a class that I offered. I think I might actually have like one of these kits left, but it was one of my most popular classes that I've done, and you can see why. It's just gorgeous, right? Okay, so this is the Highland Heather that I used for my card base, and then I paired it with Rich Razzleberry. So you can see there's lots of purple tones coming into play here. And then I paired it with the Fresh Freesia. Now my Fresh Freesia is 5 1/4 by, or 5 by 3 3/4. And this is 5 1/4 by 4. So it's just your two standard layers. I did run this through the Stamp Emboss die cut machine with the Tasteful Textures embossing folder, which is leaving us. Wah. So, and that is one of the really hard things. I don't know if other demonstrators have a hard time with it, but is seeing some of your favorite products go. I mean, I'm always excited for new things, but I really get sad when I see some of my favorite things leaving us as well. But then I get new things and I get all excited again too. So I guess, but I know that I'm going to definitely miss this. The other thing that's really hard as for me as a demonstrator when it's new catalog time, so I hope that you guys bear with me, but stuff is selling out on a regular basis. So like we have a list that we can check. It's called our inventory status report, and we get to check that regularly to see what's available and what's not. So as we plan and get ready for our Facebook Lives, there are times that things might be sold out before we even know it or have a chance to what I call pivot. So if we showcase things that maybe are retired and you're like, okay, I really like that embossing folder, but it's gone. Can you suggest something else that would work in its place? Again, happy to help you. I know our products pretty well, that I can definitely help you get something else that might work for you in its place. Like I said, that is the toughest part with doing Facebook Lives, and I work ahead so far in advance that it makes it really tough to make sure I'm presenting timely stuff. But aren't those colors really good, cute together, really pretty? Just all those purples paired together. I then cut a 1 1/4 inch piece of that designer series paper, and this is the tulip paper, and I cut that 1 1/4 by 5, so it's going to line up perfectly onto this piece. And then I put a little piece. This is a 2 by 5, so it is a little bit, or I'm sorry, it's 1 1/2 by 5, so it's a little bit 1/4 of an inch bigger. So you have the little green border, and I'm just going to adhere those two together here, and then I put that down along the side of my card. So it's going to go all the way to the bottom of the evening evergreen, all the way up to the top. And sometimes this happens, it just happens when you're cutting cardstock and paper. If it's a little bit of an over, I don't have a lot there, but a little bit, I just trim that off. Okay, that happens very easily. And then I'm going to adhere this down to my card right in the middle here, or on the far left side. So far, so good, right? And so simple. Okay, then I cut two squares. This one, I believe, is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and then 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. I texturized that one as well, and I'm just going to layer these two together. And I liked the texture because it kind of looks like it's a continuation of this right here. You can kind of see it just kind of looks like it's a continuation of that one. And I'm just going to adhere these two together. Now I do have all of the measurements for these cards figured out, so I'm looking at the square going, I may have mentioned the wrong size. If any of you want the measurements for this, let me know. I'd be happy to share the tutorial on this. I do have it available for these cards. And one of the things that I wanted to also let you know that I'm looking at offering, and a few of you are going to love this because you've already asked me, if I ever do like a tutorial only option for all of my online classes. And I'm here to tell you that it is a work in progress. So be looking for that. I'll be updating my website with a, I'm going to call it my tutorial PDF store, and that will soon be an option. I'm hoping in the next month or two to have that finalized. So stay tuned for more on that. Then what I did here in advance is I stamped out using basic white, using evening evergreen ink, that awesome little pot, and pre-cut that. And then this is the little bunch of flowers that I cut out as well. And then those I just adhered to the card using some dimensionals. So let me grab my dimensionals here. And we're going to put one in the middle of the pot and two on the flowers here. And we're going to put that right in the center of this little square here. So again, pulling in the colors that I already used on my card, like that. And then all of the sentiments that I'm using tonight are also from the Flowering Rainboots stamp set. I like to kind of keep my stamp set to one as much as possible in my Facebook Lives. So we'll be using all of the sentiments that you see here in this stamp set. And I used Our Friendship is Naturally Beautiful. And that I stamped using the rich raspberry ink. And I made it just the perfect size of that stamped image. And then we're going to adhere that behind a piece of the rich raspberry cardstock as well. So I'm just going to adhere these two together. And then this entire piece went down with some dimensionals along the bottom down here. And I need to make sure I can see all of your guys' comments. Yes, this is Evening Evergreen. For some reason, the comments left me. I had to go scroll up and find them. So I apologize if I haven't been answering some of you. Let me take a quick peek, and if there's anything I haven't answered, I will. And that is one thing I'm vowing to do better, is go back and answer all of your questions on my Facebook Live. Sometimes I I get to it maybe a little too late, so I apologize. Again, always feel free to message me if you have any questions. And then I wanted to add an embellishment to these cards, and I was trying to find one that I thought would work for the majority of the cards, and decided to use our iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. They're gorgeous, gives a little bit of bling to this card. And I'm going to, you guys are again going to be so impressed with me because I'm pulling out my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm just going to, I have some here on a little strip. So I'm just going to adhere one down here. And then I'm going to put one big one up here on this part. And a little one next to it. All right. And there you go. There is our first card. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love it. Love, love, love it. Okay, so that is our first card that I'm going to be sharing with you. Now the next one that I'm going to be sharing with you looks a little bit like this. How gorgeous is that? So again, all of the cards that I'm using, I coordinated with the same cardstock and the same inks that's in that beautiful tulip paper. So that's what you're kind of seeing, is all of the colors are kind of coordinating together to coordinate with that designer series paper. And that is the one thing I love about Stampin' Up. Everything color coordinates and you don't have to do any of that work. The company does it all for you. So for this one, I chose basic white for my card base, and I am just going to fold this in half. And then I just used a little strip of this green. This is the Pear Pizzazz. It looks like it's got some of the Evening Evergreen in there as well. Thank you, Peggy. And I cut this at 1 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's going to go the full length of my card here, okay? Again, if you really wanted to, you could use the other sides of these papers, but for this one, I just wanted a little hint of green along the edge over here, okay? So I'm just going to adhere that down. The next thing I did is I used our contour dies, which are carrying over. I'm so excited about that. And I used the second from the largest one, and I cut this out. And then again, I do a lot of my stamping in advance because I show you guys so many projects that I wouldn't be able to get through them all if I didn't do a little bit of my stamping in advance. So, but I stamped the little stems, so you can see that those are stamped directly on. And then I cut a piece of Poppy Parade cardstock, just a little bit bigger than this scallop contour shape, so that way it kind of just pops behind there, okay? Now this I adhered down directly to the card, and then I popped up the contour shape with some dimensionals. So that's just gonna get adhered down. And then for this, I did use some dimensionals. So I'm just gonna put dimensionals. Thank you, Philomena, and hello, Marilyn. I'm glad that you are here. So this I am just going to, I'm just pulling off the backings real quick off camera so you don't have to see me do those or fight with those. And then this I put on here again, just so that you have that little bit of poppy showing, okay? I know, isn't that just pretty? All right, so then again, those awesome dies. So I stamped the boots in Evening Evergreen and then cut the boots out. So the boots get put directly on the card like this. And then I cut out the flowers. So again, this is all just stamped on Whisper White cardstock, and then, or basic white, and then cut out. This is stamped with Poppy Parade. So the Poppy Parade kind of flowers kind of make that even pop more, right? So for this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, oh, I think I stole something from the wrong pile. Bear with me or I'm going to be lost later. Okay, so these I'm going to go ahead and put on with some dimensionals. Oh, they are, Kelly. I agree. I love those dies. Although I am sad, there's some dies that are retiring that I am so sad about. And it is the Stitched So Sweetly dies. Oh, Carol, yeah, I think that you got this card because Carol was one of my winners last week on my Facebook Live, and any of my extra cards that I make, I use in my kits that go out. And so I think you got this card, now that I think about that. But yeah, the Stitched So Sweetly dies are retiring, and I'm really sad about those leaving us. because those I think are really good shapes as well. But I'm here to tell you, when you see the catalog, you will be very excited because there is a lot of new dies, shapes coming out that I think you will have a lot of fun with as well. All right, so what I did is I went ahead and put some dimensionals on the flowers, and then those are going to just kind of get put right, they fit perfectly right along these stems. I mean, they fit perfectly. I mean, just like, I mean, wow, right? And then the final thing I did is I put the little Rain or Shine, I'm Here For You. I stamped that on a 1/2 inch strip of the Whisper Basic White. My goodness, it's been a while now that we've had it changed to Basic White, but I still keep calling it Whisper White. I'm cutting in my little banner here. And then I'm gonna just adhere this down right to the middle of the little rain boots. So to make sure I don't get adhesive where I don't want it, I'm just going to put adhesive right along the boots where I want to put that. And then I'm just going to adhere this down to my card like that. Isn't that pretty? Oh no, Diana, we don't want that. You don't want to have a, I did hear there's a lot of weather going through. I was a little worried this morning. We had a wind advisory, and it was very windy here, and my internet was doing some really crazy things, and I was starting to get a little worried, thinking I might not be able to go live with you all tonight. But I'm so glad that that worked out, and I'm here with you. Oh, and then I did top this card off. I almost forgot the most exciting part. Topping this card off with a couple, oh, that putty come out, a couple of the awesome little gem things. So again, you can kind of pick as many as you want to put on here. I'm just going to add a couple. Oh yes, the triangle dies too. I know. I'm always sad, and then once we see new things, I feel better again. So, all right. So there is our second card that I created. Okay, so again, when I see new stamp sets, I like to share all of it with you and not just using the same stamped images. So I wanted to show you how one of these cards looked with using the watering can as your pot, so to speak, or as your boots or whatever, and have the flowers coming out of that. So for this one, I again used the Poppy Parade. And at first when I made this one, I wasn't sure on the color scheme. And then after I got it done, I'm like, you know what? No, I really like that color, those colors together. But I wasn't sure on the paper. But I'm going to mix it up for you guys because I like to do that. So for my card tonight, we are going to use this paper. And I'm going to use the back of it, which is this blue side. Again, just to show you a little bit of variation and how you can change things up and still have your cards look beautiful with all of the right color coordination coming into play. Okay? So we're just going to adhere this one down to that instead. Again, these are your standard base sizes, 5 1/4 by 4. The DSP is 5 by 3 3/4. 1/4 inch difference in size, which makes it really easy. Thank you, Courtney. This adhesive tonight is giving me grief. So like I said, at first I was like, I don't know. And then it really started to grow on me, and I really, really liked it. Yes, these are great for Mother's Day. That's what my mom's going to get, one of these cards for Mother's Day. And I'm just going to change the sentiment to be a Mother's Day card. And so because I wanted a little bit of variation on this, and not just to be putting the whole focal point on here without any kind of ribbon or whatever, I chose to use some regular cardstock this time. So this is cut 3/4 inch by 3 3/4. So I have another piece that's Poppy Parade that is cut 1 inch by 3 3/4. So it's going to go right across here just like that. Okay. So let me adhere these two together. And again, they're going to fit all the way side to side. And then this is going to get adhered down to my card. And I put it kind of down, put it down in the bottom here. I know, Lori, aren't you impressed? I've been trying to make myself use this Take Your Pick tool more often because sometimes I forget about all the little gadgets that we have, and I'm a creature of habit and just grab scissors or grab whatever I have. I got to get better with that. All right, so here I'm just going to go ahead and layer. Again, I've stamped this with the Fresh Freesia ink, cut it out with the coordinating die that I showed you earlier. And this time, with all these pieces, I put all of them down with dimensionals. So you can kind of see the different variation that you get with using it. So here, I remember on this card, I did the stamping directly on here. And then with this one, we're going to do dimensionals on all of it. So again, you can kind of mix and match your variation that you're looking for based on what your personal preference is and what you like. So, and again, I'm here to show you all of the different ways in which you can use the products. So it's interesting to see all of the different weather issues that are going on with all of you. Like, wow, crazy everywhere it seems like. And thank you, Kay. I'm glad that you like the colors. These were, like I said, fun ones to play with. I always try to look for a designer series paper that will work for, you know, the season or the bundle that this just kind of screamed spring to me. And so this was the first designer series paper that kind of came into mind for me when I was using this. Now this I did go ahead and put underneath here just a smudge. So I'm just going to pick that up a little bit. But again, it's on there with dimensionals, and then stamped out the flowers again. And I kept gravitating to the Poppy Parade color for the flowers. I don't know, something about red tulips, I guess, right? So I'm just going to put a couple dimensionals on here, and then this will get put on there as well. And then I topped it off using our layering circles dies to add a, let me make sure I get this on here right, because it fits just perfect with all of those. There we go. And then I used our layering circles to add a little touch of adding the Our Friendship is Naturally Beautiful onto a coordinating circle that is Para Pizzazz. So I'm just going to adhere those two together, and that gets put on here with dimensionals. So again, you can get a little bit of an idea of a different look and a different take, incorporating a different color of designer paper. Isn't that cool? I like it. Love, love, love it. Oh, Jennifer, yes, you've got to get back into this. Isn't that awesome? Oh, good idea, Maureen. And that's the neat thing. So Maureen actually received this this kit in the mail. She had purchased this class, so she improvised as well. She didn't have the Fresh Freeze Yet ink to be able to do her can, so she used a different color. Again, that is the beauty of being able to use your own creativity and changing things up. So if you're ever interested in purchasing one of my kits and you don't have all of the ink colors, you can do exactly what Maureen did. You just mix it up and add whatever colors that you might have that will work for the card or project that you're making. All right, topping it off, we're going to add the little awesome little iridescent rhinestones again. So I didn't use any ribbon on any of these cards. The only embellishment that I used, literally, was this one. Oh, Courtney, you like the blue one better now. Yeah, isn't that neat? Again, so I'm just trying to encourage you to use, so many times I think we get into a rut where we see this card and we're like, oh my gosh, we have to make this card and we have to use this designer series paper. So I'm trying to open up your horizons, I guess, a little bit to look at all of the patterns, because it's going to coordinate and it's still going to look beautiful, and it's going to give you a little bit of a different look. So that way you're able to use more of the pack of paper and not have a lot of leftovers. Okay. All right. So my next card that I'm going to share with you is probably one of my favorites. It is this card right here. And so on this card, I used the Stitched with Whimsy dies that are in our catalog, in our annual catalog, and it puts this beautiful little stitched shape right around there, okay? Then what I did is I used the Coastal Cabana ink with our blending brush. Now you could also use a sponge dauber or a sponge, anything that you have for rubbing ink onto cardstock. And I added a little bit of the Coastal Cabana ink to the background here of this basic white piece, okay? I stamped my Live Life in Full Bloom on there. And then from there, we are just going to add our, but look at that, what that little bit does to that. It just pops those boots right off there. This is stamped in Bumblebee ink. So we're going to add these on with some dimensionals here. And before I get to my final card, I did a cute little, some cute little note cards that I might actually show you after we're done with this one, because I want to make sure I have time to show you that, because that project I just made yesterday. So when I was creating my cards, I stamped a few extra of the different boots and the different things and the different colors that I was doing to be able to make some 3x3 note cards. And so I'm going to showcase those for you as well. Peggy, you like the blue better too? You know, and a lot of times I think we just don't even think about changing things up a little bit. So I know you guys have been seeing me do that to you quite a bit on my Facebook Lives. So anyway, I love them too, Diana. The whimsy dies are really pretty. They're perfect for just adding a little bit of pizzazz to your projects without having to get too extreme and all of that. So, but look at how beautiful that is. It's just so pretty. So because I use the Coastal Cabana behind here, I wanted to pop it with the Coastal Cabana layer as well. That's one of the awesome things that I like about Stampin' Up! Is that you can just pop these colors right out because you have all the colors to coordinate, right? So we're going to adhere this down to the Coastal Cabana. So this is your 5 1/4 by 4, which is the typical size of your first layering. And then I am going to add this one is 5 by 3 3/4. So I'm going to add that right on there. And then I wanted to pull in that Poppy Parade. So I'm using a Poppy Parade card base. The standard card base size is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. And then I'm just going to adhere this onto my card. So I literally just pulled in the Coastal Cabana and the Poppy Parade together by adding that layer and the card base. Courtney, that's cute. Is this Courtney asks if this is the first time no ribbon on any cards? I think so, because I normally always use a ribbon and an embellishment. That's just how I am. Always, always, always. But these were so pretty without. So I kind of felt like, oh, look at, I grabbed for the scissors. You have to take your pick tool. So I just kind of didn't think it really needed much, but I needed to add a little bit of bling. And I just thought these were the perfect ones just to add a little bit of pizzazz to my card. All right, isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. Okay, I do have one card left, but before I get to my last card, we're at 7:50, and you all know I don't like to keep you past 8 o'clock. I'm going to share with you a little box of note cards that I made. Now, this would make a great gift. I'm here to tell you that when I did do this, project, these boxes were still available. However, these boxes are on the last chance list. They are retiring. Okay, so yeah, you're going to definitely need to get these sooner than later if you are a user of these boxes. This is probably one of the products that I'm most sad to see leave. I know a lot of you have seen me showcase note cards. Perfect little box to put them in. Also a perfect little treat box. You've seen me make projects with for Valentine's Day and Halloween using these. They fit like a Reese's cup really well. So definitely check that out. I think bought 10 packages of them because I just love them so much, and I can still use them on all of my my projects and things that I give out to everyone. So these are the cute little note cards that I created. Now these were all created with leftover pieces and parts of the cards that I'm showcasing for you tonight. So some of these are going to look familiar, leftover pieces. They may even look similar to some of the cards that I'm sharing with you. But I just wanted to show you how easy and quick it is to design little note cards. Now, when you're designing note cards, it's easier to use 12 by 12 cardstock because this is a 3 by 6 piece of cardstock. So you can then cut your 12 by 12 in half and then cut it in strips, and you've got your cute little note card size with no waste to your card base or your card stock, all right? So this makes a cute little gift, or if you're invited to bridal showers, you could even just not even put the rain or shine or anything on here and have it just be a cute little a little gift card to put inside of your gift bags for going to different events. And like I said, they also make really, really cute little gifts. So all of the designer series paper on these are cut 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 because this is 3 by 3. So again, a good use of leftover card stock or leftover designer series paper, leftover things that you might have laying around. They make a great gift. And I always like to have a little something on hand. Now that we also sell the coordinating 3x3 envelopes, these are going to be sticking around. They're not retiring. Oh, and I put 8 of them in here instead of 4. So these are going to be sticking around. They are not going to be retiring. So you can still at least make the cute little note cards. And I'm sure I'm going to get creative enough and come up with a cute little box that will fit these. And I will definitely be showcasing it on one of my Facebook Lives and giving you measurements for the box that I will be coming up with to replace this cute little acetate box. So, and Jennifer, yes, you definitely need to check out the Coastal Cabana color. Another color, if you have a lot of beach things that you might like, is Pool Party, which you're gonna see me use here next. So my last card that I have for you today is this one right here. And I think this one's my second favorite one. So you're gonna see me where I use some different pieces of designer series paper. This card base is Pool Party. So Pool Party and Coastal Cabana paired together really, really nicely. So you can kind of see the different color. I don't have another piece here, but you can kind of see that Pool Party is just a little bit lighter than that Coastal Cabana layer is. But this one is really, really pretty. So again, for this one, we are going to use the Pool Party for our card base, 5.5 by 8.5. We're just going to fold this in half. And then I have 2 pieces of designer series paper. And one of them is this gorgeous tulip paper. And again, you know, you can use the other side, but in this one I wanted the color. So this one I just adhered up to the top, and then I put the other one this way down on the bottom. Now this one I actually have a cut a little bit bigger than the one here, but I'm just gonna still go with it. I didn't realize that I had it cut too big. Again, you could, you know, if you wanted to, you could do them differently. You could do them like this. And have them however you want it to be. And maybe I will do it that way. So you could have these however you want them to be on your card. So I'm going to change this one up just a little bit. And I am going to, thank you, Carol. Yeah, this one is, this paper is just really, really pretty. So this one, I'm still going to put this one up here in the corner as I'm looking at this and thinking what I want to do. But this one I'm going to run this way. Okay, so you'll still see a lot of the paper back here. But I'm just going to change it up a little. So another good way to use up designer series paper, there's no other layers. Believe it or not, I didn't add more layers to this one. Normally I do. I then have a piece of the Evening Evergreen cardstock, and I'm not sure, I don't have this size memorized, so I'm going to apologize in advance. But I have the basic white that's going to be the same size. It's going to coordinate with that. And those two get layered together and are going to go right here in the center like this. And then from there, I layered all of the rain boots and the awesome little pieces and stuff. So let me adhere these together. And then I adhered this directly onto the card. So this is just going to go on here like that. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I do have an ordering promotion. And Carol, I got to tell you, Carol, one of my longtime customers, Carol, gave me an amazing suggestion, and I've printed it, and every single time I forget to bring it to my workstation or my Facebook Live. But she suggested that I print out my host code and everything and have it here for you guys to see. So I may have to run and get that so you guys can see that I actually do have it. But I'm a creature of habit and not used to having it here visible for all of you. But I do have an open host code that will be open. It's my March host code, but I'll be leaving it open at least through Sunday. Anybody that puts in a minimum $35 order will be able to receive 3 of these cards in the mail completed for you. I'll have them already done. You just get them in the mail and ready for you to send out. So that is one of my things I'm offering. And I'll also have the link in the description of my video for you to be able to place that order as well. So I will edit this video as soon as I'm done. That is another one of my goals, is to do it right away so that some of you aren't asking me where it is. Those of you that might be new to this, I also work a full-time job. I work at, I live in Central Michigan, and I work at a university called Central Michigan University. So between work and mom life and my Stampin' Up fun, I call it my fun job, sometimes I have good intentions on getting things done, and sometimes they just don't happen. And so I appreciate everyone's patience with me. You all have been wonderful, and I really want to let you know I appreciate that. I do the best I can. And sometimes the to-do list is just a little bit longer than the time I have allocated to do it all. All right, and then I have the Live Life in Full Bloom, and that will go on here with some dimensionals as well. And also these pictures will be posted to my blog. It's kimsbasementbrunch.com. Again, the link will be in the description of the video. And I also upload all of my Facebook Lives to YouTube. So if any of you have friends that stamp and aren't, there I went for the scissors again, Lori, that aren't Facebook users, they can always check me out on YouTube. I do upload that there. Usually it gets posted the day after. So I'm going to actually show you guys proof that I printed that, Carol. I'm going to run and get it real quick. Okay, so this is my host code and my ordering link. So Carol's going to be like, yay, she remembered. Okay, so this is my website. And this is my March host code. Now this will also be posted in the description of the video, as well as in the description of the video. But if you need to write it down, here it is. My website is kimsbasementbrunch.com. My host code is 3CYMQAYV. So that is the host code that will be used through Sunday, and then I will be opening up a new one for the month of April. And if you have any questions about anything that I've showcased for you tonight, please let me know. I am going to bring in all of my cards real quick one last time so that you can see them. And the little note card box, which I already kind of showed. But these are all of my awesome cards that I made tonight, and I hope that I've inspired you to consider getting this awesome bundle. So thank you all so very much. And like I said, I'm really thinking that next week our Facebook Live will showcase some new product, a new product sneak peek. And if I have a chance to play with anything and make anything new, I'll also showcase that. I'm not going to promise that. Depends on how my week goes. We got to get back in the swing of things as our spring break will be over. And getting back into the swing of things might be a little bit tougher than I think I'm thinking it might be. So, all right, thank you all so very much for joining me tonight for my Flowering Rainboots presentation showcasing this bundle. I look forward to seeing you all back here next week. Bye, everyone.